Hello, hello, and welcome back for a confusing episode of Perfidious Pete Plays XCOM The Long War. Yeah, after our last mission, I'm feeling a little disgusted with myself for the way that we treated a group of what were clearly very troubled Exalt troopers. I mean, based on their behavior, it was pretty evident that they were suffering from some sort of self-esteem or self-harm issues, since they kept flinging themselves into our guns and begging to die. I mean, one team had even gone so far as to set up a little support group in a shipping container at the edge of the combat zone. And even though they weren't really bothering anyone, I still ordered Drake to run over and parboil them all with a flamethrower. It was a pretty pathetic sight. One of them threw himself on top of Kit to beg for mercy for himself and his friends, but the only thing that earned him was a mercy bullet in the ear from Rihanna. We pretty much went full-on ATF goes to Waco on those guys, and in a rare moment of self-reflection, I actually realized that I was taking joy in the deaths of the helpless. I mean, I was committing what was basically a hate crime and feeling pretty satisfied with myself about that. It made me feel more than a little bit dirty. Fortunately, I then remembered that these were the same Exalt scumbags who shot Martin Lawrence in the nose and forever ruined any chance that there would be a Bad Boys 3. And my joy at their demise quickly then returned. So now I've got this whole cognitive dissonance thing going on where I'm vacillating between feeling guilty and vindicated. And it's sort of filling me with kind of a wearying ennui. So my real only hope is that perhaps I can chivvy myself out of this funk by promoting one of our troopers. We did have our covert operative on our last mission who earned a promotion, so we'll go ahead and get that taken care of, and perhaps pinning a medal on him will make me feel a little better about myself. Also, George Clooney apparently sometime earned the nickname Coney. Well, that's not going to stand. Actually, let's just take care of that right now. I mean, while we're down here. So, for George, not Coney any longer, Clooney. Also, if you're going to name him after a rabbit, I really get to feel that Harvey is more appropriate as a movie rabbit. But I digress. Anyway, for George Clooney, I think we're going to name him after what is clearly his most prolific, most powerful film role, and that is going to be George Solaris Clooney. And I can only assume that Solaris is, his most powerful role, because despite having seen that film, I'm actually not entirely sure what the fuck it's supposed to be about. I mean, there's a lot of flashbacks, and his wife is dead, and then she isn't, and then she's dead again. And then the star explodes, and it takes place in space, sort of, but not really. It doesn't really make a whole fuck of a lot of sense, if you ask me. I mean, it's a lot like getting really, really doped up on mescaline, and then watching every episode of Twin Peaks back to back. It's about that level of confusing. So I can only assume that it was, some kind of brilliant piece of art that's just way beyond my ability to comprehend, and therefore it will be George Solaris Clooney going forward. Perhaps one day I will be able to unravel the mystery of precisely what was going on in that movie. I mean, my current theory is that it's supposed to give you an impression of what it's like to watch a train wreck happen without actually having seen a train wreck, since they're relatively uncommon. That's my guess, is what they were going for. It's like, once you've watched Solaris, you know how you should feel if you ever see a train wreck. So I'm going to go with that. But anyway, we actually came down here to do a promotion. And you know what? Actually, while we're at it, and on the subject of Cloontang, since Eminem did, have an unfortunate incident that involved him and a mechtoid and some high-velocity plasma, we actually do need another infantry trooper who is going to be like an officer for us as well. So we're just going to go ahead and promote Clooney while we're at it. Now, I know you're saying George Clooney is clearly no replacement for Eminem, and in that I would agree with you, in that one of them is truly inspiring and the other one's just sort of like a prankish, kind of lucked my way into wealth and fame. But, we could probably use a little levity around the barracks, and maybe Clooney's spirited hijinks will help lift our troopers' morale after the loss of the mighty and noble Eminem. So, also, at some point, I'm going to remember what I actually came down here for, which was to promote our rookie. Assuming I can remember his name. Here we go. So, Alexei Pavlov, of course, well respected in the scientific community for his behavioral research involving dogs, bells, and meat powder. But probably not the greatest moniker in the world. We're actually going to rename him slightly. And I can't help but notice that old Alexei Pavlov here looks a lot like singer and guitarist from They Might Be Giants, John Flansburgh. So, of course, we're just going to go ahead and throw him on the pile. And let's hope that, in fact, the truth of the matter is that John Flansburgh is in fact a giant, and that he turns out to be a giant of combat. So fingers crossed for you, Johnny. Although as an assault trooper, I gotta say, you go look at the old memorial wall back in the barracks, you're gonna find out that you have a pretty damn high likelihood of going down in a heap. So maybe make sure your life insurance policy is current. It's really my recommendation. But let's get to scanning then, see what the aliens are gonna throw at us. I don't really need cash that bad, China. Also, not for 20 muton corpses. Nah, get a pass on that. How about you ask for some weapon fragments, because I will give you those for literally breadcrumbs at this point. Japan? Seriously? I'm not even going to dignify this with a response, Japan. I'm not dignifying it with a response. I'm just going to send them back a blank sheet of paper. It's not even going to have the word no written on it. It's just going to be blank. Just going to send them back an empty XCOM letterhead. So a large UFO over Australia. Now, this is not going to be a satellite killing mission because it's not flying high. So this is either a terror mission or an abduction mission. Can we shoot it down? No. We have a snowball's chance in hell of bringing this thing down. Honestly, I think our best bet would be to just not even intercept it. If we send up Nanook and he takes any damage at all, that's going to leave us without any sort of coverage for a UFO that we could theoretically shoot down. If they send like a medium or a small over in the next 5 days, we won't be able to mess with it at all. We could send Nanook... You know what? Let's have Nanook go do a flyby. We'll just have him go wave. That way he's only down for an hour. We can send him out, have him give the aliens a nice, cheery how do you do, and then head back to base. So there you go. Say hi.
No joy here.
Closing on target. We saw ya. And that is just me taking advantage of one of the things in Build 13 where you get panic reduction effectively for doing nothing. And it looks like that was an abduction mission anyway. I was actually sort of concerned it might be a terror mission, but it looks like it's just an abduction.
Commander, we're receiving several urgent requests for assistance.
So we've got a moderate level of activity down in Melbourne. And I think we actually have a pretty reasonable shot at thwarting this, so... Let's get stuck in, and probably what we're going to do is take some of our... I don't want to say novice troopers, let's just say less veteran troopers, perhaps. And I think, actually, is Clooney available? This might be a good mission, actually. I could take Mel Gibson, I know that he's available, but Mel is actually at max rank, so any kills that he gets are just sort of wasted. And if I'm going to take a sniper, I would rather it be somebody who could, you know, sort of benefit from being on the mission. Is Amanda Bynes available? No, where is Amanda Bynes? Amanda Bynes is injured, apparently. So that leaves us who? Well, we've got Jeff Goldblum. And you can hear my enthusiasm about that. Or Penelope Raven Cruz, who is awful. You know what? Let's take Penelope Cruz. She's real bad, but we'll go ahead and get her in. Yeah, let's take her. So we're gonna give Penelope Kestrel armor. She's gonna get a Gauss long rifle, assuming I can find it. There you go, Penelope. A long rifle that's nearly as long as your nose, so finally you'll have something where you don't have to worry about shooting the tip of your own face off, because it protrudes out over the end of the barrel. Congratulations. So laser sight then, we're going to go with high capacity mags. Of course, she does not have lock and load or any of the actual ammo perks, and this will give her 2 shots before she has to reload instead of 1. And for an infantry trooper, then I think we'll actually go ahead and take George Solaris Clooney. Sort of a inaugural mission for Clooney here, give him a chance to prove that he is in fact a capable leader. Of course, I think his many years on ER have proven that he is a capable leader and knows how to handle a crisis situation. So, Gauss rifle, and we are going to, of course, give him the Slim Shady Memorial Slug Slinger, a weapon that every single micron is infused with the spirit of vengeance. Yes, Ghost Rider lives inside that gun, and when you fire it, it laughs like Nicolas Cage and then screams, "Not the bees!" So, truly a terrifying weapon. Anyway, Clooney's sorted. Let's get a gunner. I don't really feel this mission warrants a Joss Whedon level of intervention. Also, nice to note that while he was in his 28 hospital stay recently, Joss Whedon did in fact pen a sequel to the Firefly series, a brand new 13-episode series, which was immediately acquired by Fox for production in a $120 million deal they paid. Acquired the lifetime rights to that, and then, just so their fans know that Fox executives hate them, as soon as they acquired the property, they immediately canceled it. They announced it and then canceled it, like minutes apart, via Twitter. It was pretty impressive. They just want you to know specifically that they hate you. You, in particular, Fox executives. You, as an individual. They want you to know they hate you. Mission accomplished, I feel. Not necessarily the best expenditure of $120 million, but, you know, if you have to get your point across, I guess they spare no expense, those Fox executives. So a scope and an alloy bipod then for Megan Fox, and the Desert Fox is ready to get stuck in. Gonna throw a medic on this mission because, honestly, sort of may need a medic, and this seems like a good opportunity for one of our less effective medics, Leguizamo here, to go ahead and get stuck in. We're going to leave Leguizamo actually with the laser rifle because his aim is fucking terrible. So he's going to be toting a laser rifle, then he's got battle scanners and med kit. So Leguizamo is then sorted. Gunner, infantry, medic. We're going to need, of course, a scout and an assault trooper. And again, I think this is probably... You know what? Let's take Reb Brown out. The immortal madman, we haven't had him on a mission in a while, and since he can only be killed by having his head severed from his body, a la Christopher Lambert in Highlander, he's a solid addition to any mission. And that's an inadvertent rhyme there, courtesy of the spirit of Eminem, who I apparently am channeling. He's going to be toting a flashbang and an arc thrower as well as an alloy cannon. We're going to give him an assault trooper to keep him company. Maybe we're going to give him an assault trooper. Do we even have one? Looks like they're all tired. Oh, okay. We have Hannah Montana. Anybody else? Well, we have the newly acquired Flansburgh, who is not really very quick. So it looks like it's going to be old Corporal Hannah Twerkin Montana. Of course, Miley's still wearing her brown wig and insisting everyone call her Hannah, and immediately correcting anyone who applies the Miley moniker to her, so we've been very careful to make sure to maintain her illusion. We don't want to cause any sort of psychological problems for Miley while she's having one of her little episodes. So we'll just sort of call her Hannah. I know the multiple personality disorders, it's not a laughing matter, but darn it if that Miley Cyrus just can't make anything fun. Anyway, we're going to want either a Rocketeer or an Engineer. I'm thinking Engineer. Could take Kristen Stewart. You know, we haven't taken a Rocketeer in a while. Let's give a Rocketeer a shot. I think maybe Ian Finn Ziering has been probably in the penalty box long enough that perhaps he has earned a chance to redeem himself. So we're going to give him the Gauss Carbine, of course, because let's face it, Ian's old hips there aren't exactly what they used to be. I mean, he was 50 when they shot 90210, and that was 30 years ago, so the guy's got to be, what, like 85 at this point? It's going to be a scope and a rocket then, and Ian Ziering is fully kitted and ready to roll. And for our final unit, we're going with the Mech Trooper, and just trying to figure out who we want to take. We can take Drake. We took Drake actually on our Exalt mission that turned out considerably better than I expected. Taylor Swift is tired, and also this mission totally does not call for a Taylor Swift level of intervention, I feel. Who's our next? Don't we have a Shogun? We've got the Alpha Dog. You know what? Actually, probably we're going to save him. We have a grenade launcher that's going to finish next mission should be ready. But let's hold back with the Alpha Dog Timberlake and just let him try out the grenade launcher for us. And that means we're going to be taking Ashley Olsen. So we'll take our Valkyrie into battle. Our Chooser of the Slain. If only she had been on the mission wherein Eminem was laid low, she could have immediately escorted him to Valhalla instead. Although now that I think about that, Eminem was killed, and then Megan Fox was immediately back on duty. Seems a little suspicious. Now, I've seen Jennifer's body, and I know that Megan Fox's regenerative powers are fueled by physically devouring sort of skinny, kind of douchey guys. Now, I don't want to say that Eminem's a douche, but, I mean, if you've heard any of his music, you know he has sort of an abrasive personality, and he's definitely kind of a skinny guy. Somebody should really go down to the morgue and check and see if Eminem's body is still in it. I think Megan Fox may have eaten him. Pretty sure she ate him. That's real weird, Megan. Anyway, cannibalism is always good for a laugh. So let's go down to Melbourne here. Looks like are we in Melbourne? I'm gonna guess this was Melbourne last time. Yep, there we go.
Australia has sent
So let's sit down here and see what's going on.
That's our next
I
drop
hate
site.
this map.
Panic is spreading throughout a major city as the aliens move through the streets. We
I
have
think
to get a
last time we
handle
did
on
this
the
fountain map,
situation.
we actually did like 4 casualties or something. Hate this map. Alright, so we're going down to raid a city center here in Melbourne. Of course, it should be winter holiday time down in Melbourne, so maybe our XCOM troopers can get a little R&R mission completed after they've had a chance to defeat the alien menace. They can take a well-deserved vacation. So our first move then, as always, move into full cover with our gunner.
Look sharp, enemies rolling up.
And we've got a cyber disc. That's actually not terrible. So we can pretty well deal with that. So where is our scout? We have the immortal Reb Brown. Go ahead and draw out that Overwatch for us there, Reb. Just trying to figure out where I want you to be when that Overwatch task is completed. Ideally in some sort of cover.
Head into that location.
Alright, so lightning reflexes. Of course, Reb Brown, functionally immortal. No chance that this could even harm him in the slightest.
Fire.
And we're actually going to have Reb Brown take a flush shot. Alright, so... what's his regular hit? Real bad. Alright, so we're gonna have Reb flush shot this, only to apply hollow targeting, really is all we're looking to get done here. I shot the wrong goddamn target because I am a stupid, stupid man. If Yoda were here, he would remind me that this is why I fail.
Moving to position.
I'm actually a little disgusted with myself there. Penelope, go ahead and take a shot. You'll probably miss because missing is what you do. Yeah, what a surprise.
Damn it.
Anybody with an eyeball could have called that miss. Also, we're probably going to get grenaded here, which means we're going to earn some damage for our troopers. It's going to be delightful. 74% hit for Ashley Olsen. Actually, that's pretty good damage, Ashley. Although, apparently this cyber disc is absolutely unhittable since our entire team just feels compelled to miss. What I would normally do here is deploy a smoke grenade with John Leguizamo, but I'm pretty sure if I deploy a smoke grenade, I'm going to guarantee that we get hit with a explosive device of some variety, so I'm actually going to try and avoid doing that. Let's send Hannah Montana. No, where that's going to be still too clustered up. So Hannah Montana's going to have to run and gun then.
For the kill.
Wow, that's as far as you can get, huh? Okay.
Okay.
Well, maybe you could kill that drone for us. Now, it's nice to know that someone has decided to contribute something today, Miley. Of course, probably, sure, you and your dad have had a lot of practice going out shooting, so seems like at least some of those lessons your pa taught you were well learned.
Overwatch.
We're going on Overwatch here, but honestly, it's going to be for basically zero effect. We have no chance at all of bringing that guy down, and just to increase the odds of getting whacked with a grenade, I really feel that we'll have... You know what, actually? Let's have Ian Ziering shred this thing.
Going hot.
It's not going to get us a kill, but Ian Ziering's Overwatch is going to be useless anyway, and perhaps it might make that thing reconsider advancing into our Overwatching troopers, and instead maybe take a shot or go on Overwatch. And it in no way discouraged it, so we're probably going to get like 5 troopers whacked with a fucking grenade here. Or Overwatch. John Leguizamo with an Overwatch shot, surprisingly. Unsurprisingly, it was a miss, because apparently no one will fucking hit this goddamn cyber disc, just absolutely refusing to contribute. Here comes the grenade, then. And actually, that was not terrible. 2 of our most heavily armored troopers took that, so Red Brown has phalanx armor, which means that was total armor damage for Rebster. And of course, our mech trooper, not going to be phased by that at all. And Ashley Olsen actually can probably... How do you only have a 52% chance to hit that thing, Ashley? So Red Brown then is going to go ahead and holo target it up for us. He's also going to deal a catastrophically deadly blow to it. And Megan Fox then is just going to finish it off. Or Megan Fox will fire wildly at it because seriously, this thing is fucking unhittable. I'm very much beginning to be concerned about having brought a less than optimal crew on this mission. Our troopers apparently just have no will to live at all. No will to live. The death of Eminem has just left them absolutely bereft.
We're green to go.
None of them care about life anymore. All the joy has been taken from them. They live in a bleak, cold, gray world where all they can do is sit around the barracks, mope, and wait to die. I mean, that's what I'm assuming is going on here. It's really the only logical explanation. We have 2 thin men over there. How many troopers do we have besides Ian Ziering who can still do something? Probably enough, actually. And these guys were stupid enough to take cover behind a car. So Ian Ziering actually going to have a chance to make this rocket work for him.
Eat this.
I'm sure this means it will scatter and miss the target entirely. I don't even know what to say about that, Ian Ziering. Honestly, I'm completely at a loss.
Heading to that location.
Didn't blow up the car. Did no damage to any of the thin men. Seriously, what the fuck was that, Ian? Well, it looks like the car actually at least may be scheduled to explode. That's the best I can say about what you've done. So Penelope Cruz, actually, we're going to put her on Overwatch because frankly, her shots are just absolutely terrible. Looks like once again it's going to be up to Ashley Olsen. And Ashley Olsen also with pretty terrible shots here. This is a long shot, but we're going to take it. Yeah, what a shot. It's a miss. No one that can hit anything, including Ian Ziering with a rocket. The best he can do is throw it at a car. So John Leguizamo then is going to try and keep Ian Ziering alive by hitting him with a smoke grenade and perhaps provide a little additional defense for Ashley Olsen as well. I would say this mission is going... What's the opposite of swimmingly? Drowningly? I would say this mission is going drowningly. Yeah, it seems about right. Drowningly. Now these guys are going to have to move because that car is going to explode at some point. Lucky miss, although perhaps inspired slightly at least by John Leguizamo's grenade. And I gotta feel that maybe John Leguizamo, for the first time in his career, has not completely shamed himself. I mean, I think it's sort of a long shot, and one could easily make a case that, you know, he still sort of shamed himself. But, you know, there's a first time for everything, I guess, and maybe Leguizamo's due. And this is probably going to be a little bit of flamethrower here for the chooser of the slain. I want to make sure that no one has taken any damage. And this should kill both of these guys. Well, it's going to kill one and panic the other, so... Nicely done, Ashley Olsen. Well delivered. Mr. Thin Man's going to move there. And that should give Penelope Cruz a desperation shot. Yeah, go ahead and take it, Penelope, because you're not going to hit anything anyway. See, I told you. Now, granted, you could say it's a self-fulfilling prophecy since I made her take a 30% to hit chance shot. But, you know, you could say that. We're going to have to agree to disagree on that one, I suppose. Ian Ziering, you can't see that guy? How can you not see that guy?
Solid copy.
Line of sight in this game troubles me greatly sometimes. 51% to hit. Ian still has one rocket, but honestly, I'm going to save that in case there's something more dangerous about. And also, that unit is panicked, so it's not like he's going to be doing anything too terrifying to us. We are going to have Red Brown head over and see old Doc John. Doc John going to, of course, patch him up. Now, little did they know, not a widely known Hollywood fact. Several years ago when they considered rebooting the Trapper John MD franchise, John Leguizamo actually did audition for the part of Trapper John, but was not selected. So it's basically a blow to his career that John Leguizamo has never recovered from. He's honestly never been the same since being refused that part. He felt it was the part that he had been born to play, and when he didn't get it, he was just, I mean, he was absolutely heartbroken. So we do have a panicked Thin Man over there. And I don't really want to, honestly, I don't want to move in that direction, but I don't really want to risk exploiting or exploring any more of the map and maybe revealing anything. We're just going to have Miley and George Clooney sort of tag team up and come around this remaining side of the map. I'm pretty sure this Thin Man is not going to be the last of the Resistance. There's got to be at least one more pod somewhere. It sounds like some floaters, which means probably heavy floaters. Oh, so there's another mechtoid as well. Well, that's just delightful. And Ian Ziering, you started this whole mess. Yeah, why don't you go ahead and reload, Penelope?
I'm ready.
Well, you're ready now that you've reloaded. You weren't previously ready. We are going to let Ziering see if he can maybe finish this off. I mean, he started this mess. Let's see if he can clean it up. And a kill for Ian Ziering. So that's nice, Ian. I'd say good, well done, but
On my way.
that rocket was desperately shameful. I mean, I'm not sure it's forgivable, actually.
Rearming weapons.
So let's get some reloads, then we'll start moving forward. See if we can reveal that last remaining pod. Although, arguably, we should hope to try and not do that this turn. Red Brown's going to be our forward point man. He's just going to move up and take a quick opportunity to pack some more ammo back into that alloy cannon. Megan Fox, we're going to move just over here. And she's going to reload as well. No reason not to. Low on ammo. Well, not really low, but down some and nothing else to do. So there we go. What have we got? Floaters? 3 floaters. All on Overwatch. It's like 2 regular floaters, and I'm pretty sure there's a heavy floater back there, actually. So Miley with some very, very poor chances to hit them. George Clooney actually can't even see him. We're going to go on Overwatch.
Covering now.
That should not draw Overwatch. Okay. We actually just wanted to get Miley sort of out of the way. Try and draw these guys back into our Overwatch. So, of course, George Clooney making a complete mess of that plan immediately by missing wildly. Alright, so 2 floaters advanced. And there is at least one more floater somewhere that we definitely want to keep an eye out for. But we have a good chance here for Megan Fox to devour a few more foes. Man, seriously, chewing on Eminem's corpse has really powered her up. She's looking deadly, deadly. Well, 1 for 2. I guess 1 for 2 isn't bad. It's not terrible. Let's see what George Clooney can do here. Penelope Cruz also has a shot, just it's a bad one. We're actually going to move Penelope to a little heavier cover. And she should still have that same shot with a slightly worse chance to hit. Hey, why don't you waste some more ammo, Penelope? There you go. My theory currently about Penelope Cruz is that she just sort of likes to fire the gun. She's not really interested in hitting anyone. She doesn't want to hurt anyone or make anybody feel bad or ruin anyone's day. But she just really likes firing the gun. And George Clooney, seriously, he's really trying to prove himself after we gave him that promotion. Really, really trying to impress us there, and I'm actually pretty comfortable with that, George.
Moving to Overwatch.
And we're going to just take a very slight advance here. Ian Ziering still needs to reload. Ashley Olsen,
Heading there.
we're going to move her forward and put her on Overwatch. We do know there is at least one more floater up there, but there are also some mutons as well that we are trying to keep an eye out for. The old Johnny's going to go on Overwatch, and Red Brown actually going to Overwatch where he's at as well. Let's see what this floater does. Alright, so it's just one more regular floater, actually. And he appears to be retreating. Oh, it's a good thing Sung Kang's not here. He'd be real upset. That floater just did the patented floater Tokyo Drift maneuver. Sung Kang hates it when the aliens Tokyo Drift. That's his bit. So none of you has a shot, huh? Alright then.
Moving out.
Now, there's a mechtoid somewhere stomping around, so my willingness to advance and try and take out that floater is somewhat limited. We are going to run and gun. See if we can get a shot. Oh, well, delightful.
I've got my eyes on.
George Clooney's out of ammo. He's going to move to this corner cover and reload then.
Rock and roll.
Ian Ziering, why don't you advance over to... Well, first off, why don't you go to there, just to make sure nothing's going to spawn. You have one terrible shot, I'm going to assume. Well, one not good enough shot. And if settle down, cursor. Thank you. Pick a spot and stick in it, please.
I'm on it.
We're going to send Ashley Olsen forward, actually. And Ashley may have a decent shot. Nope, we're just going to put Ashley on Overwatch now. Leguizamo also going to Overwatch. And Red Brown, what do you got? Yeah. Go ahead and take a flush shot, Red. Maybe you can move it. Trigger Olsen's Overwatch. Ah, that worked out nicely. Well done, Reb. That's good teamwork, guys. Quality teamwork. I'm really proud of you. Well, that's a lie. I mean, I'm not really proud of you, but you didn't at least you didn't embarrass yourself. Although Reb Brown, rarely an embarrassment, I must admit. Reb Brown is pretty much a solid madman in every respect. He rarely does anything wrong. Now, speaking of embarrassing yourself, this is really an opportunity here for Ian Ziering to do a good damn job of embarrassing himself. So why don't you just go ahead and get that embarrassment out of the way, Ian, and once again see if you can manage to do nothing with one of your vaunted rockets. I'd be upset, but honestly, at least that one did damage. So I really can't be too upset. So Ashley Olsen should have a chance to do some pretty good work for us here with Light 'em Up. We're going to take both of these shots at the mechtoid. That's, of course, a miss, and I'm going to guess the follow-up likewise is going to be a miss.
Reconfiguring target matrix.
Well, that's good. It needs some serious reconfiguring. I don't know if that qualifies as serious reconfiguring, but, you know, at least that one hit, so it was probably reconfigured slightly. I really would like Penelope Cruz at some point to hit something with her weapon, so we're going to take Red Brown. Can he get to this cover? Nope, that's a dash. We're going to bring Red Brown to this cover then and have him hollow target after he draws out this shot with his lightning reflexes. And once again, Red Brown, the man is an immortal. He cannot be killed. Except that the shot destroyed the cover I was trying to get to. Alright, well, we may revisit that in a moment then. Let's see what Megan Fox can do. One hit for Megan. And the double tap, also a hit. And that's a mechtoid down. Alright, so Red Brown's going to have to try and find himself some cover since that mechtoid's Overwatch actually took it out. Penelope, what can you do here? You have two absolutely ridiculously miserable shots. To say that I'm disappointed in you, Penelope Cruz, would be a disservice to the word disappointment. I actually think the lexicographers at the Oxford English Dictionary Service would literally come and censor me for saying that you're a disappointment. That's some kind of adjectival crime, I think. I mean, they have a committee for that, I'm sure.
Solid copy.
Adjective and other word crimes. Just Overwatch for Leguizamo. Red Brown's just going to readjust so he can not get shot in the face by sectoids and suffer the most ignoble wound of all time. And we will have... You know, isn't there a meld canister around here somewhere? On the off chance that that thing doesn't close this turn, we're going to send Miley over to try and retrieve some meld for us on the next move. This car should explode.
I'm under fire.
And those guys are trading shots with Penelope Cruz. I'm not exactly certain why.
I'm under fire.
Yeah, well, you're not under any kind of concentrated or dangerous fire. Maybe you should settle down, Penelope Cruz. Or are you still bucking for the whole I'm the queen of disappointment thing? Because I gotta say, if that's your goal, you're doing a bang-up job. So it is going to be some meld for us then, which is good. We actually have a serious need for meld. Of course, getting it 3 at a time from canisters isn't really doing us a whole lot of good, but you gotta take what you can get. So a 59% hit chance, we're just going to go ahead and take it. Not exactly the best shot ever from Megan Fox, but it'll have to do. Miley, you're actually... Well, we'll come back to you in a moment. See what Red Brown... you know what? I actually have a plan for Red Brown. Head up to this corner cover, Reb. And why don't you go ahead and pitch a little flash bangity bang here at these sectoids. And since we have Reb and Miley actually both nearby, we're going to try and find a way to wound those sectoids without actually killing them. And see if perchance we can get a capture attempt. Or at least an opportunity for one. So the trick is going to be figuring out how to hurt them without killing them. I'm not terribly sure we have anyone who actually sort of meets that criteria.
On the move.
Possibly Ian Ziering. He has a carbine. That's like our weakest weapon. I think this is still going to kill him though. Yeah. So 6 damage then. I actually don't think we have a legitimate shot at injuring these guys without killing them.
Headed there now.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I'm pretty sure we don't have a weapon that does enough minimum damage to not kill one. So let's go. Let's have Ashley Olsen go on Overwatch. The only other thing we have that does less, that or at least similar damage to Ian Ziering's weapon is Leguizamo's laser carbine, which only does 5. If this guy gets like any reduction damage from armor or cover, it would be not a kill.
I'm on it, Commander.
So let's have Clooney come up and go on Overwatch, just to try and maybe keep this guy's head down. Or just he's going to run around and get himself killed. Sorry, buddy, we were trying to take you captive, but apparently you weren't having any of it. So, once again, aliens proving that they would rather suicide than be taken captive. Must be some kind of agreement that they sign as part of their services. You know, like officers captured in war are sort of obligated to try and escape. Except with the aliens, they're obligated to try and kill themselves. Maybe that explains why the aliens recruited Heaven's Gators for Exalt, because, you know... Seriously, panic got increased in Mexico? I have got to get a satellite over Mexico. Panic there has got to be approaching a dangerous level,
I
actually.
figured the aliens would put up more of a fight. They didn't look so tough this time around.
Well, I don't know. That one grenade from the Cyberdisc could have gone horribly, horribly awry. We just sort of got lucky. Damage control is crap. Advanced fire control actually may not be bad for a Valkyrie. I feel that Jet Boot Module, though, is probably going to be the one that we go with, because it has +1 mobility, which is very good. So Ashley Olsen, Ashley Rosie Olsen, that's, well, that's a nickname, all right. I don't know, I guess maybe they're going for a whole Rosie the Riveter kind of thing, what with her metal legs and body. I can maybe see it. 5 meld, which puts us 4 short of our goal to rebuild our mech suit.
Remember, we will be
watching. Yes, I never forget that you will be watching Optimus Prime. So panic in Mexico actually at an unbelievably dangerous level. And do we have more satellites that are in the works, I believe, right? Yeah, 4 days till our satellite's complete and 15 days to our next council report. So we should be able to get a satellite over Mexico. That shouldn't pose too much of a problem. And with Mexican situation well in hand, well, except for the ground situation where everything's still ruled by warlords and cartels and things are pretty much genuinely awful. I think we'll go ahead and wrap things up. Of course, if you enjoyed the episode, feel free to drop a like down in the comments section. Your support really does mean a lot to us. And if you'd like to see more daily XCOM, feel free to subscribe as well. We'll see you again soon.